Welcome back to PERLA'S Dreams. Sagittarius, this is your reading. And again, guys, these are general readings, so only take whatever resonates and please leave the rest. The intention is always made that these readings are to help you with your own evolution and your own personal growth. So Sagittarius, there's a need here to kind of slow down and reevaluate a situation that you're trying to go into. Whether this is romantic or business, there is a needing to assess who it is that you are wanting or are actually like open to invest your time and energy with. There is a sense here of someone not showing their true colors, or somebody kind of I don't know. I don't want to say that it's like it's too good to be true. It's just more this energy like there's an ulterior motive to this person and what it is that they're offering you. So it can be like, somebody's offering to help you like start a business or something like that. And then once things get going, it's like you didn't read the fine print, and now they own like 60% of the company and you're only left with 40, even though you did like all the hard work or something of that matter. For those of you that this has to do in relationship, like a simple example is like somebody's telling you that they're divorced and they live on their own and etc. And in reality they're separated, but they're not legally divorced, and they're still living like either in the same household or something of that matter with the person that they're separated from, even though they're not actively like in a relationship together. There is this underlining lie that comes around, so you have to be very careful during this time not to rush into anything. Always get into the space where if something is meant for you, it will manifest, right? So there's no need to rush to it. There's no need to try to get ahead of it, is what I'm trying the energy that is coming up. All right. There are some of you that continue to search for this quote unquote like happy ending, or you're looking for this like everlasting love, and you're looking for all of these things, and it's like spirit is trying to get your attention and be like, you know what, Sag, can can we first give that to ourselves? Can we get back to a place where we are putting ourselves first, when we're taking care of ourselves? There seems to be, again, with this rush energy, this energy of wanting to rush into something, there are parts of yourself that you are ignoring, right? So you may have been on a very good routine when it came to like your sleeping habits, your eating habits, your exercising, staying on track with your goals, staying on track with projects and things like that. And because your energy or your attention is shifting into something new, whether it's a relationship or it's a new project or something of that matter, there seems to be like this neglecting energy of the things that should have priority over your life. So what I mean by that is like, first off, the main priority should be yourself, right? Taking care of yourself, taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, your spirit. In order for you to show up 100% as your authentic self, the minute that you start to walk away from that, or you start to turn your back to taking care of yourself, then it's only parts of you that show up. And when only parts of you are showing up, you start to notice that all the things that you actually want to manifest, or all the things that you actually want to work towards, become almost kind of like baggage, or become almost kind of like non-existence, right? Or this drive that you had towards them kind of dries out. So during this time, please keep that in mind. There is something to be learned within that space of patience. You guys may be a little agitated or a little aggravated when it comes to hearing the word patience, because you're like, I've had patience like my entire life. Like I've been waiting and I've been waiting and I've been waiting. And it's like, yeah, but Have you been waiting with the anticipation of what's coming, or have you been waiting actually like leaning into the space and into the energy of patience? Because those are two totally different spaces, right? If I'm sitting here and I'm saying, "Oh, I'm patiently waiting," but all I can do is think about what's coming, thinking about what's going to happen, then I'm not patiently waiting, right? But when you lean into it and you're like, you know what, I am going to wait for what is coming, I'm going to be patient, and you still allow yourself to live in the present moment, that is when things start to shift, right? Learning to lean into these energies, learning to embrace all these energies as they are coming through, right? As they're showing up. And once we learn to do that, then things starts to shift. Things start to manifest the way that we want them to manifest. For those of you that this is a project or this is like a business idea or something that you want to create, there is definitely, again, these fine prints that you need to read before going into business with anybody, before taking any grants or anything like that, before taking any offers. Because again, this project or this business that you want to launch, um it's kind of like, this is like your baby, this is like your creation. So just be very careful with that energy, with who you are allowing to be in it. Because I feel that there's a lot of people that kind of want to have their hands on it, what it is that you're doing. Now, this can be the same thing as like if you're trying to start a relationship or you're starting to get to know somebody, you don't have to let everybody in your family, you don't have to let all your friends know that you started talking to someone. Because it's like right away, people are coming in with their opinions and they're this and they're that. And it's like, are you ready? And are you not ready? And where does this person live? How many do they have kids? What do they do for a job? What is their salary? And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, you yourself don't even know if something is going to turn into something, right? If it's going to evolve into a relationship. So if you're in the state, like the talking stages with the person, why are you telling people? Like, just allow things to unfold naturally. Again, this energy of patience, you have to really start leaning into it, and you have to really start practicing patience without that underlying like anxious or nervousness that I'm starting to feel. Like, okay, I've been patient, but is it time? Is it time? Is it time? It kind of reminds me of that movie, like I don't remember the name of the movie, but it's like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Like they're in the car ride and the kids keep asking, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And it's like, it's a little annoying, right? Because if like, let's put it this way, if spirit has put something in your heart, right, for it to manifest, and you know that you have been following the guidance, right, you've been taking the steps that you need to take, you've been doing what you have to do in order to make this manifest, right, your portion of it, right, why is it that you're in this doubtful energy thinking that spirit is not going to come through for you? Spirit gave you the idea, spirit put this in your heart, so why would spirit not come through for you? Like, let's start looking at life from that perspective. Whenever we're starting to feel anxious, maybe when you start to feel anxious about whether something is going to manifest or when something is going to happen for you, take a moment and take a seat, take a couple of deep breath in and out, and really ground yourself into your body and really allow your mind to kind of settle down. Because when our nervous system is in that state of like anxiousness and nervousness, it really clouds our judgment and it really interrupts our ability to be able to listen to spirit. There are some of you that are coming into this space of uh I want to say abundance. There's here somebody that is purchasing a new car. This is something that is almost kind of like this opportunity just kind of presents itself kind of like almost out of nowhere. You may have been okay or comfortable with the car that you have, but it's like somebody's getting rid of like, all right, there is a particular like dream car that you have in mind, and whether it is the price budget or whatever that you've been putting off, like buying it. But somebody around you, or somebody, like, is either somebody around you has it, or somebody around you knows somebody who has this car, and the person needs to get rid of it, whether it is because they're moving, or whether it is like unexpected bills or something like that. But the car is being sold for a very reasonable price that you is actually within your budget, and you go ahead and you buy this car, because again, this is coming up as a very sudden thing. It's not something that you're planning on doing, if that makes sense. Well, at least not now. And maybe this is one of these ways that spirit is trying to trying to gain a little bit more of your trust, even though you should have, spirit should have your trust. But again, there is this little game that you're still playing with spirit when it comes to that. All right. Um, there's somebody that is smiling in your face and is talking BS behind your back. So be very mindful of that. This is somebody that is constantly asking you questions about like what your plans are, what are you doing, what are you into, like so be very mindful of who you're sharing your ideas and your goals with, because again, there is somebody that there seems to be this, and I like to talk more about like an energy than it's like a specific person, because energies is something that is, constantly like flowing around, and it can embody, anybody can embody any energy. So there is this energy of like envious, this energy of like um jealousy slash like hatred, to be honest with you. Because there's this person is exhibiting this thing of like, I I it's kind of like they want to know what you're up to, because they want to outbid you or outwin you in something. So a very simple example is like, you could tell somebody like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and get my hair braided or whatever, and I'm gonna go on Saturday, and then this person goes ahead and gets their hair braided on Thursday, because they need to get it before you do, because even though it was your original idea, they need to feel like they have one over you, right? Or it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go here this summer, and it's like, okay, they choose to go there, wherever it is that you want a vacation on the spring. So it's almost kind of like this person is trying to get information out of you so that they can beat you to the punch, so that they can say and the reason why I say they're smiling in your face and talking behind your back is because, like, since you're doing it first, it looks to like society that you are copying them, when in reality they are copying you. So when people approach and be like, oh yeah, so and so just went, and you'll be like, this person will be like, oh yeah, I won in April. And it's like, even though they're not directly saying it, they're implying that you got the idea for them, or like that you're following them. So there's a very sneaky energy that you have to be very aware of, and you have to be very careful. I feel that this is somebody that spirit has been slowly showing you who this individual is, and the reason why it may show up during this time in like a bigger form, like, is so that you don't ignore it anymore, and you start to set very strict boundaries with this person, right? And for some of you, you definitely have to kind of like cut this person completely off, but that is, everybody has a choice, so that is up to you. But if you feel like, this is somebody that you need to have around, and you're not ready to cut ties 100%, then learn to have boundaries with this person. Like, not everything that you're doing, not everything that you did, not everything that you're planning, does this person have to know about. Okay, so let's go ahead. There. Okay. There's a storming out or walking out. I keep on seeing footprints of like somebody walking away from a connection. Now, if you have recently walked away from like a love connection, there is this sense coming through. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Because I'm just seeing something and it's like so beautiful, so I want to embrace it for like a little bit. I'm seeing this beautiful like tree of life coming out, but it is so weird. Please bear with me. But it's like it's within the ground, but within the ground there's like almost kind of like this oval round shape around it, like grounding it to the ground. And the oval shape kind of reminds me of an egg, right? And like when you look like a birds and things like that, like how they're birthed from like eggs. I don't know, but that's coming up. So for some of you, the tree of life may be very significant during this time. Maybe you're starting to learn about it or something of that matter. Or it is almost kind of like a lot of you may have been are being led to get a little bit more grounded. Maybe there's a specific tree that you like to sit and meditate, and it's like it allows you to get into the state where you can really connect to your spiritual team. But anyways, going back to this person that you walked away from, I feel that as you were making the decision to walk away from this person, whether it was a romantic relationship or a platonic relationship, business, whatever it was, there was hesitation as to whether or not you were going to regret it. But to be honest with you, I don't see any regrets here. I see somebody really coming to peace with the decision of walking away from something. And whenever like somebody asks you in regards to this or in regards to this person, you're just plain and simple saying, well, we're no longer together, or I'm no longer part of that company, I'm no longer part of that group, or whatever it is. But it's not coming from a resentful place. I don't see you talking or bashing about them. But again, with this person that is smiling in your face, be very careful, because they may try to twist your words around and bring back information to like this individual, to this group of friends, um, saying that you said something that you didn't say. So again, the sneaky energy is going to be one of your biggest challenges during this time, because it's either you're not wanting to admit that this is the person that has the sneaky energy, and you're wanting to really keep them in your life, right? I am picking up, for some of you, this may be like a sibling or like a cousin that you treated like a sibling or something like that, because there seems to be like this blood tie between you and this person. Or maybe as a friend that you treated like like family, right? Somebody that you've known for a very long time. But if you really sit there and you reevaluate the relationship that you have with this individual, you'll start to see how they've always done this. They've always tried to outshine you. They've always tried to command like all the attention for themselves. It's like somebody that doesn't know how to share the spotlight. Like, hey, honey, there's enough room for all of us on the stage, right? That's kind of like the way that we have to look at life. Like one thing is not going to take from the other. And yeah, so just be very mindful during this time when it comes to that. There are things from your past that are coming up in dreams or coming up in visions. Do not run away from these things. I'm not telling you to merge yourself in a sense of like, going like down the rabbit hole or anything like that. Everybody deals with their past, whether it's trauma or whatever it is, in a different way. Um, if you feel at this moment in time that you're not ready to deal with the past trauma, I'm picking up between the ages of 8 and 10, then just acknowledge that it's there, and just be like, when I'm ready, I'll come back to it. Instead of like, oh no, no, I'm not going there, I'm not going. Because the way that you respond to things, to the energies as they're surfacing up, is really going to determine how that healing process is going to go, right? So what I mean by that, again, I am talking about my own personal experiences, right? Whenever something would come up, if I resisted, right, and I try to suppress it and I try to push it away, the entire healing process within that space feels very rigid. It feels very constricted. It feels like I'm literally like fighting for my life. But when something would come up and I acknowledge it, and I'm like, you know what, I'm not ready. I don't know if I'm ready to deal with this or not, but I'm gonna give myself the grace and the compassion to deal with it as it comes up and when I'm ready for it to come up, regardless of how painful, regardless of how hurtful, and how conflicted I am in regards to it at the moment. When I do that, as I'm walking through that healing process within that particular frame, there seems to be like this grace and this compassion that doesn't allow me to feel this constriction and this energy of like I'm going to die. So take that and do with it whatever you may. Just, this running away from things really need to stop. There's a Gemini, and this is weird because I usually don't have other signs coming up in people like very specific, but there's a Gemini energy that is coming up for you, and this person is very much tied to you. Like there's some type of like soul contract or something between you and this person, whether this is romantically or not. But whoever this individual is coming up. They're not showing up very prominent, so they're not taking up a lot of room, but it's kind of like they're there. So either this is a person that you haven't met, or maybe this is an ex or somebody that you've lost touch with, but from time to time it's like this person comes back to mind, right? This person creeps back into your thoughts and stuff like that, and it's because there is a soul contract between you and this individual that hasn't been fulfilled completely. So what does that mean? Oh no, this ex is coming back. Not necessarily. Soul contracts can work in many different ways. Just because there's a soul contract, let's say, and you guys were supposed to be together, like romantically or whatever, and things are not working out, there's still ways of fulfilling that contract without the two of you actually being together. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I feel that there's some of you that are getting really triggered about this Gemini person coming forth, or this Gemini person coming towards you. Regardless of whatever the history is, the message that is coming through at this moment in time is that the contract is not fulfilled. So this is something that may surface again. This person may resurface in the next 6 months to like a year. So just kind of be prepared for that. And it may just be for a closure, right? Sometimes closure is needed between two people. Sometimes even if you've moved on from a situation, and even if you've forgiven somebody, it doesn't necessarily mean that the contract is over. Maybe the contract won't be over until this person actually is humbled enough to come and apologize, even if you don't need the apology. Remember, we all play different roles in people's life, right? The same way that different people play different roles in our life. So please be open to how it is that this contract needs to be fulfilled. Just because somebody's coming back around doesn't necessarily mean that they're coming back to be with you, or that you're meant to be with them. So please keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and let's pull out an oracle card as your closing message, Sag, because that is pretty much what I have. We're using the Medicine Heart Oracle. And this is a beautiful deck that was recently gifted to me by a very special client that I've known for many years. And she gives the best gifts ever when it comes to these oracle cards. All right, so let's go ahead and let's pull out. Give me one card, Spirit. One card to close out, Sag. One card, Spirit. Just one card. Yeah, you guys, again, this energy of patience really needs to you really need to start leaning into it. And what I say leaning into it is like really allowing, like, again, there's a lot of things that it's hard to explain like in like words. When I lean into something, I allow my body to kind of like experience the energy completely, but not allow it to overtake, if that makes sense. So this is your card. I think is Nan. I don't. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. You can read it. Um, let's see what the book has to say. Oh, right. I opened right to it. To hear, to heal inner pain, the soul may need to investigate the darkness within. Venturing directly into our suffering can help us understand underlying issues and what will ultimately bring peace. Purpose, Purposeful descent into suffering to liberate pain is a transitory process. Pain is not a place to permanently dwell, but rather a place to pass through in order to transform one's being and one's life for the better. It can be difficult to find the courage to enter our suffering, and also difficult to find the courage to not become stuck or embedded. You are traversing a path that is ultimately leading you towards the light. Though it may feel, wait. though it may first lead you through the darkness. Excuse me. Stay connected to the instincts that tell you good things are on their way, and do not allow your mind to become clouded by doubt or fear. Allow such thoughts and emotion to pass by, like shifting weather. Stay steady and preserve, but keep the experience in their proper context as a healing journey that will resolve itself. That which has dark shall become light. That which brought suffering shall become your key to freedom. Be reassured, beloved, for the rising of the light is imminent. So again, there are things that are resurfacing, things that are like, slowly coming up. So give yourself this grace, give yourself compassion as you're going into them. Um, there is this thing like with every aspect, right, that is coming up to be healed. It is each going to take its own form. And if you surrender and you lean into the form that it wants to take, um, you're going to come out on the other side and you're going to be okay. Do not fear it. Do not feel like this is the end of you. Um, but I do feel that it is time to finally heal those aspects of yourself that are coming up. Well, guys, as always, thank you for all your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't done so, I encourage you to do so. We would love to have you. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing, guys. Take care. Love you all. Mwah. Bye bye.